transparent public persona makes it very easy for the world to fall in love with you, but it also stops you from being able to live on your own terms. The world looks at you differently when everyone believes they know you, when they've committed your affairs to memory. Many people have a familiarity with your life that would suggest the commitment of friendship, but celebrities can't be expected to know anything about the millions who adore and despise them. The public offer a gaze that cannot be returned. The superficially beloved look out on a sea of faces who recognize them but see nothing reflected back. This is what transfixes Sofia Coppola's camera eye. Speaking of transparency, it's apparently easier, for some reason, for critics, largely male, to question the motivations of a wealthy woman with a famous father than any other filmmaker. When her gorgeously diffuse The Bling Ring was released in 2013, there were a number of disturbingly disrespectful reviews that asked questions about her artistry that no one ever asks of men. Why should we bother paying attention to this subject just because she decided to make a film about it? The Bling Ring made a little money and received mixed reviews. Even some of the kinder notices seemed to agree that there was something missing. This was by design. Patronizing reviews have followed her ever since she had the gall to mix postmodernism and modernism in Marie Antoinette, her 2006 post-punk calling card. Even her theatrical and TV work are called out for their supposed emptiness. No one seems to see the notes she isn't playing. The Bling Ring was the apex of her pet themes, most notably the loneliness that stems from a deficit of perceived authenticity, the lengths you'll go to have control of your life, to imagine that you are able to live or die in ways not dictated by the rapacious demands of those whose judgment pinions you to every decision and gesture you perform. Her characters have always been outsiders, kept from human connection by imaginary barriers, looking for someone who can look them in the eye, who can make them human instead of an image to be worshipped. The Bling Ring complicated her thesis magnificently by reflecting celebrity in the blank stare of kids raised with no sense of moral object permanence, no ambition greater than what they saw in the pages of magazines. Celebrity has no dimensions, it simply exists, and they are surrounded by it at all times, but they can't touch it and they can't achieve it. When the opportunity presents itself to wrap themselves in the material signifiers of fame, which even their parents teach them is important.
So in The Secret, we talk about the law of attraction and how we need to be really careful about who we surround ourselves with, because we wind up being the average of those people. So we are going to make vision boards about people who are demonstrating good character, like Angelina Jolie. So, what qualities do you guys admire about Angelina Jolie?
The nearly feral protagonists dive over the barrier separating mere mortals from fame they believe they deserve. A life spent keeping tabs on human beings as if they were characters in an epic poem has reduced them to human simulacra. They live to pose themselves in the clothes of people whose exploits have beguiled them from the screens of their laptops, TVs, movie screens, and phones. Coppola poses the kids as if they were subjects of a forgotten master's oil study, the storied heroes of ancient picaresques.
She washed my back 3 times a day. This shower head feels so amazing. We'll both be hot. The help don't stare. They just walk by. They must don't care. 1,000,001, 1,000,002. 100 more will never do. Too many bottles of this wine we can't pronounce.
The cinematography by the late Harris Savides, who died during production, and Christopher Blovelt, presents the kids' heedless lust in melancholy pastels. Their ultimate goal is to graft meaning onto their lives, failing to see any in their ordinary existence. When a cultural or even religious ideal is within reach, Why bother with the trappings of ordinary life? Their impudence and insouciance, the result of never having been shown that there was a reality to face, let alone how to face it, render them without allegiance to any person.
This has been a very difficult time for myself and my family. Thank you for respecting my privacy. I look forward to my day in court.
The holy promise of fame supplanted their earthly concerns. Nothing is real. Even their consequences bring them a step closer to the infamy they chased through their actions.
Did you speak to any of the victims?
I've spoken to all the victims.
Really? What did Lindsay say?
In becoming a mouthpiece for outcasts, specifically well-tailored and healed ones, Sofia Coppola became one herself, after a fashion. Her fiercely intelligent, ecstatically stylish, cinematic court paintings will outlast their negative receptions, because their circumstances will fade, and their very real core will finally be illuminated. She showcased the lengths we go to muffle the sound of the void in each of us. In life itself, there is no height we can rise to, where the screaming yawn of meaninglessness will not find us. Her considerations of dreamers trying to cheat the hangman will be relevant as long as we prize fame above all else.